Hey guys, welcome back to Easel Does It Studio. And today we're gonna do something a little bit different, a little bit fun. So let me just clean my paddle here because I changed my mind midstream, so I had to mix up 2 more ounces of resin. So I've got that in the debubbler. But we're gonna start with this one first. All right, so I've got this all cleaned off. All right. So we have got this little dome thingy. It makes like storage, you know, like you could put something in it, and then this is the cover. So it kind of goes like that. So I'm going to try a snow globe in this at some point, for sure. But for today, I think I'm going to do something a little different because I don't have enough little, like, thingies to put in there yet. So I'm going to have to go get some. So we're going to make this. This is going to be clear. And I got this mold a while back. I think it's an owl. I'm not sure, but it will fit in here. And then the dome is going to go over the top. So I'm pretty sure that that's going to work. So that's what I mixed up the extra resin for, was that little piece. So before we go on, now I got to clean my lid. So I did measure these with water, and the base takes almost 2 ounces, so I put 2 ounces. This takes just over 2 ounces. So what I did is I poured 2 ounces in, and then I put this on, and it brought it really close to the top. You do have these little cutouts that you can pipette or pour the resin in, but I'm like, that's gonna take a long time if we just like pour it in there. So I made 5 ounces just to be on the safe side. So I know I'm gonna probably have extras because I made up another 2 for that, and that's probably only gonna take maybe 2. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray this with some alcohol, and I got something in here, so maybe if I spray it with alcohol I can. It's a little red piece of glitter, and I think, yep, I got it. All right, and I got something else over here. My word. All right, so we're at like 5.5. So I'm just going to because I want this part to really be bubble free. Oh, let me see what I got here. And I think that is going to be a little too much. Because I just barely want the 2 ounces. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and give this a spray. And it brought it brought it to right about here. So just because maybe I'm gonna, all right, I'm just gonna pour a little bit more in there. All right, and this does latch down. All right, so let me grab I'm gonna grab a paper cup because I'm thinking the pipette is just, it's gonna take forever. So with this, I can kind of pour it and see where I'm at. So I want it to be just underneath these little nip pieces. I don't want it to come up through because then I'm going to have a whole bunch of sanding, and that's what I don't want. Rather it be a little bit lower than too high, if that makes sense. So I just gotta pour it slow so it can maneuver itself around. And there is a tiny like little line in here that you can see kind of where it's supposed to be. So I have so many ideas, guys, running through my little pea brain. I do want to try one like a skull snow globe with some of those bats that we got. So I have to make a couple of the smaller skulls because the larger one is too big. The medium one fits. All right, so we are, I think we're good right kind of where we're at. I might be able to add a little bit more. All right, we're gonna call that because it looks like it's just below those nips, and I want it to have a nice flat bottom. All right, so we're gonna move this to the side, and then this has those little bumpy things, so I know that is gonna be an issue in itself. So let's get a little bit of this poured in. See all the bubbles coming up? Because I figure if I can get the bubbles out before I come. Okay. If I can get all the bubbles out before it gets too full so that I can hold it in my hand, I think we're going to be better off. Oh, and I wanted to spray it with alcohol. Crap, I forgot. See them bubbles popping up? Yeah, note to self, make sure you spray with alcohol. I mean, if there are some little bubbles, this is gonna actually be the bottom, but I don't want any bubbles. There we go, get up there. So my new paint chrome markers with the really fine tip says it's out for delivery. My husband just checked the mail and he said it wasn't there, so I will have to look into that after this video. Alright, we're almost done, guys. I know this is tedious watching me pop bubbles, but oh, see, and that's what I didn't want it to do. I can see a few micro bubbles. Alright, and I'm going to take my little, I'm going to take one of these and see if I can just scoot some of them littler ones out of there. If I can get them out of the the little ball area, then they will come up and I can pop them. All right. So let me wipe this. I think we're good now. Before I add any more, I'm just gonna let it sit for a bit and see. You know what I'm gonna do? There we go. I'm gonna take some out so that I can give them a better squish. Because they're only micro, but still, I don't. After that last tray that I did, that bottom one, I just didn't take my time and I was disappointed. Oh, you know, it might have helped if I took the little cap thing off. Oh my gosh, I'm such a numbie. I'm like, why is that not grabbing them bubbles? And that's probably what put more bubbles in. All right, I think we're finally getting there, guys. All right, let's finish filling this. And we're gonna hope and pray. All right, so let me move this over here. And we've got just a little too much here. It's gonna overflow. All right, I think that's good. And that noise in the, oh, my thingy just shut off. All right, so let's just slide that back out of the way. I do have something right there. And right there. All right. Let me wipe this. All right. So let's go ahead and let me see how much is in here. I'm gonna save that. All right, I am going to So these are my 3 pearly kind of, I think we're going to go with the white. And this is just a nice pearly white. All right, let me... This is why I hate making like a small batch, because it ends up having so many bubbles. Just stir some of that alcohol in there a little bit. I mean, it's not going to show in the mica powder, I hope. All right, so I'm going to mix this, and we'll save that in case. And I did see somebody do this, so I'm going to try it. It says to put your mica powder in first, and then it mixes it better. So I've been wanting to try it, and I always forget, so... But see how pretty that is? It's a nice shimmer. And if it's not an owl, then I don't know. We'll have to go to plan C or B or D or whatever. All right, so let me just mix this in now and see. It definitely does mix better, guys, doing that. I do want to add just a little bit more. So I'm just going to pour a little bit in there. All right, and that's going to be more than enough. All right, I'm going to give that a stir. Oh yeah, that's much better. Look at that. Okay, so we are going to give him a good spritz. And this is going to be a matte mold, and he is pretty textured in there. So I'm going to really kind of get it all into them like little crevice areas, and then we'll finish pouring. I found sometimes by doing this that it does help get all them little gap areas like filled with no bubbles. Oh my gosh, he takes 2 ounces. All right. I'm going to just move him over here because I know he is one that I will have a tendency to knock over. And I don't want that. Just making sure he is level, because it is that is kind of wiggly. All right, so let me just move this, and I'm going to turn my heat mat on. All right, so we've got a smidgen of this and almost 2 ounces of that. All right, let's see, because I have my scallop mold out. Everybody calls it a clam mold, but clams don't have pearls, scallops do. And I've only done clear ones, and that takes 2 ounces. So let me just kind of see what... So it is still transparent, but it has like a shimmer to it. But I'm gonna put a smidge of this iridescent rise. I mean a smidge. And I gotta pull a pearl out of my container. So that's still gonna be somewhat transparent. And I do have a discount code for this oyster mold. So if anybody wants it, that will be in the description box. And my order that I ordered on July 4th has finally shipped for my custom pieces. So, all right. So these are my pearls from when I used to shuck oysters. And I'm gonna see if I can, this one is kind of like a purple, but it's speckled. So I'm just going to see if I can get some of that off. I don't know if it's, I think it's part of the pearl, but where we're going a little bit on the whiter side, I wanted the darker pearl so it could show up. All right. So, I know I need to get some of the resin into that little spot, because last time I didn't put some in first. I put the pearl in the back side, had nothing on it. Let me get a little... And my resin was really thick that day. I'll show you here in a minute. I have it in front of me. All right, so I'm going to just plop that in. All the way in. And we're going to hope and pray for the best. And these are handmade, so it says not to spray any alcohol inside or water or anything like that. So, and these molds are expensive, so I am trying to make sure I follow the manufacturer's directions. Really? All right, I'm going to have to make a little bit more. Last time I made 2 ounces and it was perfect. All right, I cannot scrape any more out. So what I'll do is I will, I don't know, mix up like 20 mLs in just a little medicine cup and color it and add that to it because it's not going to be that much more. But we will see what it looks like with a color. So I will go ahead and do that off camera, and I will be back for the next step. Alrighty, guys, it is the next day. I ended up having a house full of company last night, so I never got back down here to do this. I did do my my oyster. So I didn't like the way the pearl looked with the little coat of like it was like a transparent white, but it dulled the color. So I just took my X-Acto knife and I peeled it off, and then I re-glued the pearl in here, and I think it looks phenomenal. It does still have sparkle, but not as much as when it's in the clear. So that is the one that I demolded without you. So, all right. So let's see if this is an owl, because I thought it was, but then I wasn't sure. And no, it's a cat. So we've got a little white kitty, and I've got a little trimming to do. Oh, that's too funny. I know I have an owl one, but so this is just my deburring tool, and I actually really like this. I've heard a lot of people say that they didn't like it, but I don't know, I like it. It doesn't fit in a lot of the tight spots, but that's okay. So I can probably still stick with my original plan, maybe. I don't know. I got to see how this is going to fit in the dome. There. And then we will put a little face on them. All right. So then one of the extras I did was a white flower. And I did another little birdie. What I should have done was added some color to the bird to give him a different color, but I didn't. All right. Why am I having a difficult time unmolding this little beast today? Well, come on here. Get with the program, Michelle. Maybe because I was trying to do it with my left hand and I'm right-handed, so. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, he's really pretty though. So we'll give him some little eyes and we'll dress him up a little bit. All right. Oh, my word. Let's do the cover first. So the one good thing with me waiting is this shouldn't be bendy. So far, we're looking good on bubbles. Oh, yeah, that came out really sweet. No bubbles. All right, so, and I am going to use it this way. I don't know which way it goes, but, all right, let's get this opened. Hang on, I know I'm off frame here. I'm just trying to break that suction down there. There we go. All right, and I'll show you once I get this off what I was talking about, why I didn't want to fill it right to the top. Excuse me. All right, hang on. I am gonna get a little cup, and I'm just gonna pour some water. I keep forgetting to bring down a soapy water mixture, but I'm hoping water will work just as well. Just to kind of break that suction. Because I'm just afraid if I do the alcohol that it's gonna leave marks on the glass part. Oh, and I just spilt water all over me. Wow. All right, this is definitely more difficult to get out than I thought it was gonna be. All right, if I can just get this to fold over. All right. I've got to stand up to do this. Does anybody else feel like they're stronger when they stand up? All right, let's... All right, hang on. I'm going to put you on a pause and I'll be right back. All right, I ended up making some soapy water solution. I am like, are you kidding me right now? All right. All right, I wrote on my bottle so I know what it is. Okay, So these little nibs here is what I was telling you about. So that would have been raised up, and I didn't want that. So, because I wanted it nice and flush. All right, well, let me take my deburring tool here, and we're just gonna go around, clean that edge up. So if I were to make this into a snow globe, I would take the time and sand this rim. But I don't believe this one is going to be a snow globe. So I'm just going to all right. So no bubbles, guys. No bubbles. All right. So I got water. Is our little kitty. Oh, it is. All right. So my plan was, I was going to put the owl in the middle and put some like greenery around it. And then I'm going to put, I think I'm going to drill a hole in the middle because I can put one of the fairy lights and glue that base underneath. So we could have fairy lights on the inside. So let's get the kitty eyes painted. Let me get my other marker. I want to do blue eyes on this little kitty. And let me get my all right, just grabbed a couple of other little colors. All right, so this is just an acrylic marker. Nothing too spectacular. All right, let me just move this so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me get one of my little micro brushes. Try one of these. And now I have some open. It's right here. And I am going to remember to take the plastic off this time. And I'm just going to dip it in some alcohol. And we're just going to clean up this blue. Oh. I wish they made these little nips so they stayed in better. I'm just wiping the excess blue off. All right. Now I gotta touch up. All right. I'm gonna let that dry. And maybe we'll give him a black nose. I'm just kind of giving him a little just so the kitty has some color in it. All right, and just so he has a little bit of markings on him. Nothing too spectacular. And now we got to do just so he's got a little something, something going on. All right, so I don't know if like any of these trees are gonna work or not. So I might just, yeah, that's gonna be way too big. Yeah. So we're probably gonna just do a little bit of moss on the bottom. And this is just a big bag of moss that I got at Michael's years ago. All right. Just so I kind of want it to look like, you know, and that way there, it just kind of hides the base a little bit. All right. Let me get my drill out. We're just gonna go for it, guys. All right. I might need to put a bigger bit on, but all right. So the kitty's gonna be. Let's have the light come up from behind, I guess. All right. And grab a light. And I just got these on Amazon. Nothing spectacular. Because before I get everything placed, I want to be able to get these lights up through the base. All right, let's see if it's gonna fit. And it does. All right, and then this we can tuck in there. I'll glue that down after. So I am going to use just some E6000 to put these in place just because. All right, so let's. Just so he's got something around the bottom. Don't want glue on my deburring tool. No, I do not. All right, here's my cover. All right. And all right. All right, let me move some of this crap out of my way here. Maybe if I just do this. That's the thing with these, is they are so long and fiddly that they're a pain in the butt. And then somehow I will glue this to the base. And there we have a cute little kitty nightlight. Isn't that cute? I think that is so precious. All right. So that is it for today. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to try to clean this up, get this glued on, and I will have some final pics at the end. Let me know in the comments what you guys think and how many other things can we make out of this. This is going to be so stinking cute, guys. Alrighty, have a great day. Bye.